Team Ico fans think Project Robot character is a cyborg. So I seen the headline for this. I seen this article and it really grabbed my interest mainly because I'm just really looking forward to this game. I did my video on it last week in regards to like the trailer and everything like that and what we were able to get. It's just a really small teaser that they had given us, but just that little bit of the small teaser really has me hyped. I'm really looking forward to what the developers of this game are going to be giving us because like I've stated before, I love Shadow of the Colossus so much, and I never got to play Ico yet. I have that game. I own like a double feature of it where I have Ico and Shadow of the Colossus for the PlayStation 3. So I have the game. I just haven't had the opportunity to go back and play it. And then I've heard nothing but good things when it comes down to The Last Guardian. So that is another one that do need to get and do need to play and see how it is. So the fact that we're getting another game from these developers and this team, it's one of those things. I'm really excited for this and I'm really looking forward to it. And one of the cool things is that what they kind of have for inspiration for this upcoming game is something that I'm really happy to be hearing about. So per usual, we'll go ahead and go over this article, get some of the information, and then I'll give my thoughts as we go along. So last week, Team Ico announced a brand new game called Project Robot in a thrilling but brief reveal trailer that featured an enormous mech decapitating itself to escape a strange oncoming storm. Given the patterns on the main character's clothing, it looks like it follows on the form of Shadow the Colossus and Ico. But what's really interesting is that they might be a cyborg. As pointed out by eagle-eyed fans such as Reddit user Few Opportunities 4947, the protagonist appears to have metal hands and legs as well as robotic face, some speculating that it's actually a helmet. They even have what looks like wheels attached to their feet. So I was looking up the information on this Reddit page in regards to this character, the hands that they have as well as the feet. It's a bit blurry, so I'm not gonna go too much into detail about it just because it doesn't have the best quality. But one thing that someone did mention was that the cloth right here is the same design as one of the characters in Ico. So the fact that it is similar in the cloth, people have been speculating that it is probably in the same world as Ico, as well as the fact that some people are speculating that just from the design and everything, for the cloth again is Ico, but as far as the colossi that you fight, the very first one in Shadow of the Colossus looks extremely similar to the giant robot, the mech that you get up on top of and you decapitate. So there's a lot of people speculating that it might be related to either one of the games or both of the games. And if they decided to go in the route where they're going to try to use this game to connect the two, I think that would actually be pretty cool. But if they just keep it as its own world, that's also going to be something I wouldn't mind at all. But the fact that they have it so that you can kind of see similarities between the two is something that is kind of leaving a lot of fans out there and people wondering what's going to be happening with this game as far as the story goes and everything like that. So the new game could be based on Fumito Ueda's old concept art. Others, such as Reddit user Ralg666, note that the protagonist looks like one of Fumito Ueda's old, unused character designs from when they were an art student, which could shed some light on the theory that the new protagonist is a cyborg. The original design has a much more human face, leading to the idea that the robot head is actually a mask. They also appear to have metal legs and arms, much like the new character. Ueda said of the design that it was way off the mark for an art student and could have been more straightforward, even revealing that the devs rejected him because of it. It's possible that he is revisiting the old design in Project Robot all these years later, making things more straightforward by more explicitly making the new protagonist a cyborg. And I gotta say, for me, that's one of the beautiful things, man, is the fact that this individual is he's gonna be using some of his old art design. I think that is so cool because you gotta look at it from the sense that, like, this is probably one of his either, I don't want to say first ideas, but an idea that he had way back then. And to be able to kind of go back and look at some of his old stuff that he had designed and be able to do it in like a modern kind of look in the sense that after him being so successful with Ico, Shadow of the Colossus, The Last Guardian, doing the best that he can, as well as being able to give, the video game world some really great games. And to be able to be successful in that regard and then go back to some of your first designs. I think that is so cool. That really has me really hyped even more for this game because of the fact that that's more than likely going to be something that's going to come from a lot of love and care because of the fact that I'm sure it's going to have that sentimental value to him because he did, design this character so long ago. Sure, I'm sure even before he even thought like, "Oh, I'm going to be able to make some really great games that are going to like shape the video game world, So to be able to go back and make these changes, do what he wants for this new project, I think that's amazing, and I'm really excited that with what they're going to be able to bring for that. So another potential inspiration behind Project Robot is Nausicaa of the Valley of the Wind, one of Yuita's childhood favorite movies. And I gotta say, I love Nausicaa. I think Nausicaa of the Valley of the Wind is such a great film. For anyone that doesn't, know, I am a big Studio Ghibli fan. I know some people say Ghibli, I always say Ghibli, but I am a big Studio Ghibli fan. And there's so many great movies that came from that studio when you got to think of like My Neighbor Totoro, Spirited Away, Poco Rosso, Ponyo, movies like that are just so amazing. One of my favorite, well, I gotta say, my favorite Studio Ghibli movie of all time is Princess Mononoke. I love that movie so much. I think it's so great. It's one of those films I can just kind of throw on and then just kind of have it in the background as I'm doing stuff. And I can just, I love it. The second favorite film that I have by Studio Ghibli is Nausicaa of the Valley of the Wind. It is such a great story, such a great protagonist, the main character, and the fact that they're taking inspiration from that movie for this game, it has me really excited because like I said, that's one of my favorite Studio Ghibli films of all time. So the fact that they're going that direction is something I'm really looking forward to, as well as the fact that for anyone that doesn't know, the depths that you go into in Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, they took from what a lot of people were speculating. There is a lot of inspiration that was used for the depths that you go in when you're able to go into like the ground underground and everything like that. There's a lot of similarities that you would see from Nausicaa, one of the areas that she goes in, and the gloom or whatnot that you can go into the bottom of from Tears of the Kingdom. So the fact that they're going that direction for this game, again, it has me really excited and has me really hyped in that regard. So it tells the story of a post apocalyptic world ravaged by god warriors, giant biomechanical beings, i.e., cyborgs. Lending credence to this idea is the Sea of Corruption in Nausicaa, a toxic jungle that is slowly suffocating the entire world, much like the miasma we see the protagonist fleeing from in the Project Robot trailer. And that's the area that I'm talking about. So the Sea of Corruption, that was what took a lot of what Tears of the Kingdom took a lot of inspiration for. So the fact that they're using that as inspiration from what it seems like for this game as well, again, is something that I'm really excited. I'm really looking forward to the direction that they're gonna go in and how they're gonna kind of tie that in, so to speak, for this game as far as the story itself. So perhaps Yuita is exploring the idea of humanity's intrinsic ties to technology further in Team Ico's new game. If so, a cyborg protagonist makes perfect sense. So I think that's really cool. And then the fact that it is a cyborg character would make a lot of sense because for anyone that hasn't seen Nausicaa, when she does go into the Sea of Corruption, it is one of those situations where she does have to wear kind of like a gas mask just because there are so many toxins and stuff like that are all around her that if she were to breathe that in, it would end up killing her at the end of the day. So if they're going in that same kind of direction for this game, more than likely I'm really interested to see if they're going to be using a cyborg character because it would make a lot of sense because of the fact that like a cyborg character would be able to actually not have to worry about breathing that type of stuff in. So it would make sense in that regard. So yeah, I think that's really cool, and the fact that they're using that as inspiration is something that really has me excited, and I'm really hyped for it. So I'm again, I'm really looking forward to this game. I'm gonna try my best to keep up with any information that we get to this because usually I'm the type whenever like a new game is coming out or there's something that's gonna be coming along that I'm into, I'll usually try not to like watch trailers or get too much information because I'm like, yeah, and I'll just wait till it comes out and then that way it's all kind of new to me so that I can really enjoy the experience when I first play it. But for some reason, this game right here, I'm really hyped for it and I want to know as much as I can about it. Just because I feel like even if you kind of get a lot of this information, once the game is released itself, there's probably still going to be a lot of new stuff to explore, a lot of new things to discover as far as the story and everything like that, that we're probably not going to get from trailers or any of these leaks kind of a thing. So I'm going to do my best to try to keep up with this as much as I can. And more than likely, I'll be doing videos as we go along when it comes down to this game, because I'm really looking forward to this. I'm really hyped in this regard. So those are my thoughts on that. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Are you guys going to be looking forward to this game as much as I am? And I'm also curious if there are any Studio Ghibli fans out there. What is your guys' favorite Studio Ghibli movie? If you guys can let me know in the comments, I'd really appreciate that. Just because I love that franchise, so like that company is that so much, and the movies that they produce. I would really like to hear your guys' thoughts in those movies as well. So you guys could like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. If you guys have been watching this long, I really appreciate it. It means a lot. And yeah, until next time, Harmonic out. Peace.